Welcome back to another episode of the Steel Studio Podcast. We are here with our NFL expert, Chad Schmock. Chad, we're here to preview the Steelers and the Washington football team, their game coming up next Monday. Washington's won 2 in a row, and they've had some close ones, and they seem to be relatively underappreciated. What's the state of the team right now?
They're a solid young football team. I think they're very well coached, and they're definitely moving in the right direction. So I'm fairly excited to see how they stack up against an upper echelon team like Pittsburgh this week.
Hey, Chad, how you doing?
Good, Rick. How are you?
Good. Hey, Alex Smith has been playing pretty well since coming off that devastating injury from last year. What are your thoughts on him, and is he the long-term answer for this team?
There's some rumblings this week that they're talking about re-signing him, so I don't know that he's necessarily the long-term answer, but I think, to be the mentor for whoever they bring in there, whether they stick with Kyle Allen or Dwayne Haskins or they bring somebody else in, I think he'll be there for a couple of years. I don't know how anybody can not be thrilled for Alex Smith. Going through what he went through, just to see him out there on an NFL field is fantastic, I think, for all NFL fans, and then to see him actually playing well, couldn't be happier for him. And he's been doing pretty well for them. So I look for him to be there maybe at least through next year.
It's going to be a toss-up with him and Big Ben for the comeback player of the year. It should be interesting.
That is going to be a very, very interesting vote. I think Alex might get a little bit more of the sentimental vote, but Ben's had a good year too, so it's going to be an interesting vote for sure.
Chad, we don't know a whole lot about this team. We don't see him very much. You don't see him play much, but who are the running backs on this team and how they've been playing, and what kind of scheme do they run?
Okay, so as far as the running scheme, they go with the zone blocking scheme, but what they do out there is a little bit different. They go a little bit more towards personnel. So their offensive coordinator, Scott Turner, he was with Jim Harbaugh at Michigan. So they do a little bit of the power run game as well. They have Antonio Gibson, who they drafted out of Memphis. He's coming on strong. He had over 100 yards and 3 touchdowns last week. He's a very solid rookie running back. He's kind of like the old Christian McCaffrey role that Rivera had last year, where they're catching the ball out of the backfield, they're running them some. So they'll definitely see a lot of design passes to the running backs. And then the zone blocking scheme is the majority of the time that they will line up and do some power as well.
Their O-line's been up and down for this team. Should the Steelers be able to exploit them and get to Alex Smith pretty easily?
I think so. There's not that great left tackle protector there for them anymore. So I think they should be able to get to them. They do a lot of trying to get the ball out of his hands early and some misdirection stuff to try to supplement for that. But I think the Steelers will be able to get home on Alex Smith quite a lot this week.
I'll take it. What about F1, Terry McLaurin? He looks like the real deal. Is he the best receiver on the team? And how will they try to attack the Steelers?
Without question, he's the best receiver on the team. He's playing at a high level. I think they're just going to try to get the ball to him in space and, hope that he can make people miss and go a long way down the field. He's probably at his best in the vertical passing game, going deep, and that's a lot of what Turner wants to do. But with Alex Smith as the quarterback, that deep passing game isn't a strength of his, so they're running a lot of pick plays and some quick bubble screens to try to get the ball in his hands a little bit more, just to try to get him in space and let him make some plays.
Excuse me. He's a very good special teamer as well. He had a big play last week, I saw.
He can do it all. He played a lot of special teams at Ohio State, so yeah, he's definitely skilled in that regard as well.
Chad, I know the strength of this team is their defense, and it's very good statistically. The D-line looks great. How's Chase Young been, and Sweat, and who else is a threat on this defense that we need to worry about?
So they have the 2 Alabama guys up there too. Deron Payne and Jonathan Allen are up there on the line. Chase Young, when he's been healthy, he's been as advertised and the real deal. He's going to get to the passer, and he's going to get to the passer a lot. Sweat on the other side obviously benefits a lot from having Chase on one side, but he's still very skilled as well. Defensive line, without a doubt, the strength of this team. They're going to really disrupt the passing game. And, I mean, I think they can get a little lazy in the run game and not really want to defend the run as much as they should. That's kind of the victim of having a really young defensive line, but they are really going to get after the passer.
Yeah, they also have John Bostic, our old player we had for a year at linebacker there.
Linebacker's a little bit of a weakness for them. I definitely think that's something that they're going to need to shore up in the offseason. But they get out of a lot of trouble with the D-line just getting home as quick as they can.
Yeah, and I think they're number one against the pass, but I'm not sure how many quality offensives they played. Can they shut down the Steelers' pass game?
No, I don't think they can. I think they can disrupt it a little bit. I think they're definitely going to have some success. You're going to have some ugly 3-and-out drives with as much talent as they have. They got a couple of good corners. Kendall Fuller's a solid corner for them. Ronald Darby does a good job, but I think the Steelers are going to be able to move the ball. I look for them to use the run to kind of set up the pass, and that play action to the deep ball is going to be there a lot, I think.
So, Chad, this is a team that it seems like they're up and down, but going into this game, they've had a lot of time to prepare versus the Steelers, prep time. Kind of want to get your thoughts there. Do you think that that's fair? And do you think that that'll give the Steelers some trouble?
I definitely don't think it's fair. I think definitely the joys of 2020, and, they're going to have a heck of an advantage with, a short week. So they could come up with some little wrinkles and things that could give them trouble. I think the Steelers are just too talented. I think they'll prevail in the end, but I think it'll be a little bit closer game than most people expect, a 1-2 score game probably.
So what's your official score prediction?
I think it'll be somewhere around 27-17, something along those lines. But I think the Steelers will win, but I think Washington will find a way to keep it close early.
Yeah, this game scares me, that's for sure. Because they do have some good young talent. Yeah,
they do.
They're just But anyway, so we don't know a whole lot about them, and it looks like they won a few games and they lose a few games. It's kind of strange. A lot of teams are like that in the league lately, so should be interesting. And Monday night at 5:00, really weird.
That is a weird time.
Chad, as far as the AFC goes, who are the contenders and who are the pretenders? Who do you think are the teams that are going to make the playoffs, and who do you think is going to fade away? In the AFC, we'll do the AFC first.
So for me, I think the Chiefs and the Steelers are kind of in a realm by themselves. I think those two have clearly separated. I definitely don't want to see the Titans. I don't think anybody would really want to play them the way that team's been playing lately. And with Derrick Henry, I think they're probably the number 3. Buffalo's going to get in. I am not a believer in Buffalo. I don't think they're going to be around much past. If they win a game, that's going to be great for them, but I think they find a way in. Once you get past them, it really becomes a discussion for where these wild cards go. I think, my opinion, the Ravens are probably next. Then I think the Browns probably find a way to squeak in, and then for me, it's either Miami or Oakland would be the two that I would really look at. Oakland's really kind of fallen off a little bit, so I don't know if that's a sign of things to come, but I definitely think there's a clear 1 and 2, and then I think there's another separation after the Titans and number 3.
And how about over in the NFC?
The NFC, it's interesting. It's a little bit more of a toss-up for me. I think Seattle's really starting to play well. The Saints, when they get Breeze back, and they're starting to get Michael Thomas back now, so I think they're going to play at a high level. The Rams are another team that's playing well. I don't believe in Jared Goff. I don't think that he's going to be good enough to keep him in the game against some of those good quarterbacks they have out there. And it's going to sound crazy, but Tampa Bay with Tom Brady, you get Tom Brady and all those weapons in the playoffs, I think he might be able to just defy Father Time and put up one more great season and do some things. But right now I think it's the Saints are probably the clear favorite out there, for me anyway. It
sure is interesting, and hopefully we can get to the season and not have to have a Week 18 and all that mumbo jumbo. So.
Let's hope so.
Oh man,
just give me one clean week of football. It is. Just got to keep track of everything.
Well, we appreciate it as usual, as always, and go Steelers.
All right, thanks guys. Good luck this week.